Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another GI or another mathematics lecture video. And in this video, I want to go through the find x questions that gave you multiple triangles and asked you to find some length. And in specific, I want to go through question number 45 because it is a good example without giving you the actual answers to the ones that you actually have to do. So let's go ahead and go through number 45. And I'm going to quickly draw out the triangle, or triangles, I should say. So we have a triangle that looks something like this, and a triangle that looks something like this. And we're given this angle here, which we'll make in green. We're given this angle here, and we say that this angle has a measure of 26 degrees. And then we're given this angle here, and we're told that this angle has a measure of 70 degrees. And then we're given this side over here, and we're told that this side has a measure of 119 units. And we are asked to find the length of the bottom portion of this triangle right here. This is our x. So at first you may be like, well, I don't have enough information to solve this. How can I possibly do that? Now, the easiest way and the way that I approach these problems is to think about what we do have, right? We have an angle and we have an opposite side. And then if you think about it, right, we're just looking for a series of adjacent sides, right? This whole, let me do this whole thing, right? This whole thing here, right? This whole thing here is the adjacent side of this large triangle here. And we also have this adjacent side right here. Right, this adjacent side, I'm going to call that W. Right, this side right here, this is the adjacent side of this smaller triangle right here. And we'll call this D for the sake of labeling things. Right, so hopefully now it's apparent that x, which is the length that we want, right, is just simply the difference between the length of the large triangle, which we call D, and the length of the base of the smaller triangle, which we called W, right? Now, hopefully finding D and W at this point should be fairly trivial, right? We have an angle and we have the opposite and we want the adjacent. So opposite and adjacent, that tells you we're going to be dealing with some sort of tangent, cotangent. Now, what I like to do is I always like to stick with SOHCAHTOA. So I always like to stick with the base 3. And just I know that tangent, right, is TOA. So that's opposite over adjacent. Right? I know that my opposite side is 119. And I know that just to keep track of things here, we're talking about the big triangle first. So the opposite side is 119. The adjacent side in this case is going to be D. Right? So we're talking about this angle first. Right? So now that I know this relationship, I say, okay, well, I'm going to flip this. And if I flip this, I'm going to get the cotangent. Right? So I would get cot, or cotangent. Right? So the cotangent is going to be, in this case, D over 119. Right? So we would get the cotangent times 119 is going to give us our D. Okay, so this would be where you would pull out your calculator and you would clear away all the stuff that we've got here. Trash all that, right? And we would say that we want to calculate, right, the tangent, the cotangent of 26. We type 26, trigonometry, and we want the cotangent of that. And then we're going to multiply that by 119, which is going to be approximately, I'm going to say 244. Right, so I'm going to say that D is approximately equal to 244. And that makes sense, right? Our D should be longer. So what about W? Well, we know that W, right, we're going to apply the exact same formula, right? So this was D. Just keep track of stuff. This was D. Let's do W. We're going to do the exact same thing, right? Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. This time we're talking with respect to this angle here. But our opposite doesn't change, right? We're still opposite the same angle. So this is still going to be 119. But now this is going to be our W. Okay? So hopefully you're with me so far. We're going to do the same thing we did before, where we're going to flip both sides. So this becomes the cotangent. And this becomes our W over our 119 side. So we're going to do cotangent, in this case of 70 times 119 equals, again, our W here. So if we do that math, right, so we're going to clear this out, and we're going to say 70 trigonometry cotangent times, and then we're going to do 119. We get 43.3. So in this case, right, our W is going to be approximately equal to 43.3. All right, so now we have our D, we have our W. Now we can go back up here and we can say, well, we have D and W, we can figure out X. All right, so our X is going to be equal to, right, our D, which we said was 244, minus our W, which we said was 43.3. Right? If we do the math on that, we should get 200.7. So hopefully that made sense. Again, this is the way that I would approach any problem like this. So if you have X being one piece, you're going to calculate the whole and then subtract the part you don't want. If X is the whole piece, then you're going to find the lengths of each piece and add them together. Right? It just depends on what you have and what you're looking for. So hopefully this makes sense. And as always, please reach out. Thank you.